Hey guys, the Basement Crafter here. My name's Amanda, and this is my first video, my first challenge. It's a first for a lot of things for me. So it's my first time editing a video and everything else. So I am so happy to be a part of this, and let's get right into the DIYs. So for this first DIY, I'm going to take 4 of these wood rabbit cutouts that I got from Amazon in a big pack of them, all different shapes and sizes, and I will link that down below for you guys. And I'm just going to fill in the holes at the top with my Elmer's wood glue, let it dry, and then sand it down. Then I'm going to take my paints by Folk Art in pink, I think it's ballet pink, and light lavender, and then also my Waverly chalk paint colors in pool and maze, and I'm going to give my rabbits 2 good coats on the front and the back. Now I'm just taking a piece of wood block that I got from the Crafter Square section in the dollar store, and I'm going to give it 2 good coats of white Waverly chalk paint. I am now taking 4 of the wood block cubes that you can get in a pack of like 50, I think it is, at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint them each, one each, the same color as the rabbits. Now I'm just going to take my white chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm going to give a little distressing to each of the rabbits to make them look just a little bit worn, but not too much. And then if I get heavy-handed in some spots, I'll go over it with a piece of sanding paper that I got from the Dollar Tree. So now I'm going to take this pack of small white cotton balls that I got from Walmart, and I'm going to give each one of my rabbits a cute little tail. I printed the words hippity hop off on my Cricut Joy using a mint colored vinyl, permanent vinyl. So I'm just weeding it here. And then I'm going to pull that vinyl, the top vinyl off, leaving just my words behind. And then you'll see me take the transfer tape and smooth it out on top and pull it up and then put it onto the white wood block that we painted earlier from Dollar Tree. Now we're going to take the blocks that we painted earlier and we're going to match the color to the rabbit and glue them together. So now it's time to glue the rabbits to the wood block, and I had a little bit of a hard time, so I found it was best to just put the first one up, mark in the middle of the block for where I want it to go, and then put the next one, so the pink one's going next to the purple one, and I'll put a dot underneath of the pink one and do the same with the blue and the yellow, so that way I know that they're evenly spaced and that they're going to look good while they're up there. And then we're going to go ahead and hot glue them down. And once they're hot glued, then this project is done. So guys, this is my first challenge, and it's called the Let's Dupe It challenge, and it's an open challenge, so it's for anybody. So I'm so happy that Ashley, the host, let me join in this month. It is hosted by Crafts with Ash DIY and Decor, and this month it is co-hosted by Making It My Own DIYs. Videos are to be posted on the second Wednesday of each month, and there's a different theme every month. This month's theme was bunnies. So there will be a playlist, and I'll try to tag it down below if I can, but hope to see you guys in it next month, and I hope that you enjoy my dupes. The second dupe is coming from Hobby Lobby. I'm just taking this sign that I got from the Dollar General on clearance from Valentine's Day, and I'm just removing the banner off of it. I'm taking my sanding paper from the Dollar Tree and giving the whole thing a light sand because it was kind of a slick, kind of like plastic material. It wasn't wood, and it's just going to give it something to, the paint, something to adhere to. I'm taking my Waverly chalk paint in white and giving the whole background 2 good coats. I'm not real worried about if I get it on the border or the frame because I'm just gonna cover it up with washi tape, cover the white up with washi tape, and paint the border brown, truffle brown. I didn't show you guys when I was putting the washi tape on because it was really time consuming and a pain in the butt, but I put washi tape on the white, and now I'm giving the whole frame a coat of truffle paint. Now I'm going to take my white Waverly chalk paint and my chippy brush and give the frame a light distressing around the whole thing. Now I'm taking 3 more of the rabbits that I got from Amazon, and I'm going to paint one in the light lavender from Folk Art, one in the pool from Waverly and one in the ballet pink from Folk Art. I'm not sure why I didn't do this from the beginning, but I want to paint the beads, so I'm just removing them from the sign now. I don't know why I lost footage for this video yet again, but I took the beads, I split them into 3 piles so I would have an even number of each. Painted 1 pile purple, 1 pile pink, 1 pile blue. Then I put washi tape on the end of some white jute string, and now I'm just stringing them back on so that I can make a hanger out of the beads. Now I'm just going to grab my stapler and staple the hanger back onto the back of the sign. Now I'm going to take my truffle paint and give the white part of the board a light distressing as well. It is now time to glue the rabbits down to the board, and I just put the bigger pink one in the middle and the smaller ones on each side. I decided that my rabbit in the middle needed to stand out from the other two, so I'm just making a finger bow out of white jute twine for the pink rabbit. And then I just glue the bow down and trim up the tails with my scissors. Now it's time to add the words, and all I did was go to my Cricut Joy and print out the words "Welcome Peeps" on black permanent vinyl, weed it, pull the top layer of vinyl off, use my transfer tape to pull up the words, and then place it on the board above the rabbits. And with that, another dupe is finished. Cord from Dollar Tree, and I cut it into 7-inch lengths, and so that it doesn't come apart, I'm putting don't come for me. I have very tough skin on my fingers. I mean, look, I've always been embarrassed of it, but I have calluses all over my hands. So I'm going to touch the hot glue. And I understand that I have the finger protectors and I have the spatula, but they're just not working for me. So the best thing has been my fingers. And I've done all of these so far, and so this is my last one, but I want to show you guys how I'm doing it. So I am taking the end of it, and I'm kind of spreading the jute away from the wire and getting a bead of hot glue right in the middle. You don't want too much, but you want enough. Like, I don't know if you can see, but anyway, and then I let it dry for a second so it's not as hot, and then I just pinch my fingers on it and spin it. And now you see it's not coming apart. It's good. It's good to go. So we're going to do that on that side and then also on this side. You don't want this to come apart. Like, it may look like it's good and together for now, but you want it to last. You don't want them to come apart. You want them to last for a while. So put it right in the middle. The hot glue goes right in the middle. Give it a second. Let it cool down. And then twist it. And you want to twist it the way that it's already twisting. You don't want to twist it the opposite way. And it's not going to look right. But yep, there you go. So you want to do that on the end so that way it stays together. And then, so this is my first time doing this. I have not done this before, but I did get the idea from Sammy at Unicorn Dust Designs. She made the rabbits out of the nautical rope, and for the ears, she like took the nautical rope and made it into the form of a rabbit ear and then hot glued it to ribbon, like buffalo check ribbon, which I'm going to be using this, and I'm also going to do some in just regular burlap. So that's what she used. I'm sorry, she used burlap, I think it was. And then she laid her rabbit form on the burlap, hot glued it, and then cut it out, and she had a cute little rabbit ear. So that's where I got the idea from. But she didn't use this material, so I'm hoping this will work. I'm hoping it'll give it a nice steady base. So I'm gonna bend it like this, and then I'm gonna squeeze the top because I want a little bit of a pointy ear. And squeeze the top, and then I'm gonna figure out where the ends are gonna meet, like to where they're the same length, and then bend it there. So essentially I'm making a triangle, you know? And it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, it's a rabbit's ear. I doubt every rabbit ear is perfect, even in real life. And then I just put a bead of hot glue there, and I'm pushing them together. And I'm gonna hold it for a second until it dries. And then hopefully once it's dry, I can shape it again. Fingers crossed, guys. This turns out for us. Let's cut a piece of bread. These scissors suck, dude. I'd go through some scissors, let me tell you. I definitely go through some scissors. I think these are Cricut scissors here that I have. All right, so we're just going to, just like that. I'm gonna put hot glue on the back of it. Let me get another stick. All right, I'm gonna put hot glue on the back, and then I'm gonna just lay it on down. And you don't want to press too hard because you don't want the glue to seep through onto the burlap. I mean, seep through the burlap, I meant to say. And then I'm just gonna lay it down. I'm gonna press just gently. I'm gonna pick it up because I don't want it super glued to my mat, and I don't have any like parchment or wax paper or anything like that. I'm gonna put that to the side, make sure it dries. Never used one before, so don't come for me on this one either. So we're just gonna cut this out. We're gonna cut around. And I pray to God that it works. I pray to God that it works. There comes a point when you exhale. And you really want to cut right along it. You don't want to cut under because you don't want to cut any of the hot glue. Then it won't stick. Going around turns is so hard for me, but there we go. We have a rabbit ear. Okay, so I wanted to let the ears play through real time, so I didn't have to do a voiceover for them because they were a little bit complicated for me. But now I'm taking 6 egg cutouts from the dollar store, and I'm going to paint 2 of them in the blue, the Pool by Waverly Chalk Paint, 2 of them in Ballet by Folk Art, and then 2 of them in Light Lavender by Folk Art. Now I'm taking one of the long, solid MDF pieces of wood. It's a sign that you can get at Dollar Tree. They have them out for almost every season, and I'm just giving it a good coat of the white Waverly Chalk Paint. I wanted to cover up the holes at the top without having to use the Elmer's wood filler, so I'm just taking a piece of jute string and tying a finger bow for the top of each egg. And once I have it tied, then I'll hot glue it down. I'm going to take 6 more of the blocks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint them white and glue them to the back bottom of the egg. This is going to be their stand. Now it's time to give our eggs ears. So taking the ears that we made in the beginning of this project, we're going to glue 2 to the back of each egg to make them look like rabbits. So each color is going to get a set of burlap ears, and then each color is going to get a set of the burlap buffalo check ears. Now taking the white blocks that we painted earlier, we're going to glue 1 to the back bottom of each egg to give it a stand. I apologize for being out of frame on some of this. I didn't realize. And like I said, it's my first time, so I'm just getting used to everything. Trying to make these go on there evenly was a little hard for me. So I just staggered them. 1 in the front, 1 in the back, then 1 in the front, then 1 in the back, then the next one in the back, then the 1 in the front. So, I mean, you get the point. And then I'm just hot gluing them down. I was trying to make them evenly spaced. So I really just did the best that I could. But you get the gist of it, and you're just going to glue them down, alternating colors until you get them all on there. Now I'm taking my jute string, I'm going to wrap it around the back of the whiteboard, tie it in the front, and then glue it in the back so that it looks like it's wrapped around it twice. Now it's time for each egg to get a letter. So I just went to my Cricut design space, printed out the letters EASTER for Easter, and we're going to put 1 letter on each egg to spell out the word Easter. And with that, this 3rd dupe is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Hey guys, so this is the last DUI. I was gonna say DUI. Oh my god. It should be a CUI, crafting under the influence. Good lord. It's been a long day. But this is our last dupe DIY for today. So I'm gonna take this wooden rabbit that I'm taking this wooden rabbit cutout that I got from Target for $5. It's by Mondo Llama. I liked this one because it was thicker and it stood up better on its own than I felt like anything that I could find at Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to give it give it 2 coats of the Waverly chalk paint in white. And we do paint the entire thing, front, back, and all of the sides. So now we're going to decoupage the rabbit. I am taking a napkin that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I am going to Mod Podge it down onto the rabbit. So I saw a trick where instead of cutting out the pattern that you want, you wet it with like water and a paintbrush. So I just laid it on the rabbit, figured out what I want it to be on there, and then just traced it with a paintbrush and water, and then ripped it off. So that way it doesn't have a nice, like a crisp edge when you're Mod Podging it down. And then it kind of blends in better with the white painted background. So I'm just lining it up now to make sure that it's where I want it. And then I'm going to trace around the outline of the rabbit because I don't want to have too much overhang. And I don't want to have to go back in and really do too much sanding on it because I want it to have a crisp edge on the of the napkin. And this napkin was a 2-ply napkin, so I ripped the white second ply off and I'm just using that top ply. I found this set of makeup brushes at Five Below, and I've really loved them for Mod Podging. So that's what I'm using now to put the Mod Podge down on the rabbit, and then I'll lay the napkin down on the Mod Podge, and then Mod Podge over top of the napkin as well. But I have tried all kinds of different things for Mod Podging. I've tried the black foam brushes that you can get from Dollar Tree, and they were just leaving black fuzzies behind when I did the top layer of the Mod Podge, and I didn't like that. And then I went onto Amazon and I found Mod Podge brushes. They were actual brushes for Mod Podge, but I couldn't find a good way to clean them, and they weren't really cheap. It was like $4 or $5 for a 6-pack or something like that, and they worked for a couple uses, but then after cleaning them a few times, they wouldn't really come clean. They would get hard, and then I couldn't use them anymore. And I just happened to pick up this. It was like a 6-pack of makeup brushes from not Dollar General, from Five Below, and they've really worked really well for me. It puts the Mod Podge on smooth. It doesn't rip the napkin or the paper that I'm Mod Podging down, and it's just, they've been really good for me. So that's what I would suggest to use for Mod Podge. I know everybody has their own way. You don't have to use a heat gun, but I used a heat gun for this just because I wanted to speed up the process some, and do any sanding that I might have had to do, so that it wasn't too long. I didn't want to have to leave it and then come back later. I apologize for making you guys wait while I get my finger sander. I didn't realize that I left that big of a chunk in the middle of my video. But I'm just grabbing my finger sander that I got from Amazon, and I'm going to take it around the edges of the rabbit to take off any excess tissue paper that's there, and then I'll lightly sand the edge of the flowers of the napkin that are in the middle of the rabbit, just to smooth it out and try and blend it in some. Now I'm just going to take my Mod Podge and give the whole rabbit one coat, so that way it's all cohesive and all looks the same. The inspiration for this dupe did not have a bow on its neck, but I wanted to put a bow on it because I like the black buffalo check and I thought that it would look cute. So I hot glued the bow down, and with that, this dupe is done. The inspiration for this dupe came from a rabbit that I saw while I was shopping at, I believe it was TJ Maxx. The whole thing was covered in flowers, but I didn't really care for that. And as you can see, it does have a bow around its neck. So I was wrong when I said that. But the thing that I did change was that I only wanted to make the bunny butt have flowers. So let me know what you guys think. So guys, that's it for my very first Let's Dupe It Open Challenge video. I hope that you guys enjoyed everything that I did. I know that I have some work to do when it comes to recording and doing the voiceovers and editing my videos. Like I said, it was my very first one, so you have to cut me a break there. But I just hope that I did good. I am planning on hopefully releasing 1 to 2 videos a week. You do have to keep in mind that I am married. I do have 2 kids. I do work a full-time job, and this is just my hobby, but I do strive to be on the level of other YouTubers like Ashley. So yeah, just keep an eye out. I hope that you subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you again. Bye, guys.